Hi, everyone. In this week's video, I am so excited to share something that I've been working on for quite some time now. And it might seem very simplistic, but when people used to ask me what it is that I do, I would always talk about my titles. And that's how I combine leadership development and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And these are two fields that are often seen as separate. And in my mind, it was always very clear that they're very much intertwined and cohesive, but I would have trouble articulating that with clarity. And so finally, what I resonate with is generational conditioning. That term, which speaks to the beliefs, the behaviors that we've inherited from our upbringing, which really inform how we see the world, how we show up in the world. And sometimes it's very undetected by us. This is where the challenge comes in, because these beliefs and behaviors are so part of who we are, so deeply ingrained that sometimes we don't even see them. And what we don't always discern is whether these beliefs and behaviors are serving us and whether they're sabotaging us. And the answer might be both. So there might be certain aspects that are working for us, and there might be certain aspects that are not. And this is where the exploration comes in. And what I mean by generational conditioning and these beliefs and the behaviors, for me, it's impacted every aspect of my life. My career, the career path that I chose, what I even studied in school, how I showed up in my relationships, my relationship to time, to money, to food, how I viewed my body, all aspects come from how I was raised and the ideas that were passed down to me. Now, this is not about blame or shame. I want to make sure that we get that very clear, because there's a lot of ideas that might have had a lot of value at one time, and life changes. We have a different world that we're operating in, just even after everything that we've gone through after COVID, and certain things that were applicable then are no longer applicable. So it is our responsibility to constantly be looking at how we're viewing the world and to assess, is this serving me? Or is this potentially holding me back from my next level of success, however I choose to define that? And if so, what are the aspects that might be holding me back? So this is an area that I'm not only excited to dig into with the organizations and the leaders that I serve within those organizations, but now I'm also extending an arm of my business, which is going to be with individuals who resonate with this. Because I think where the opportunity is for so many of us is to stop certain cycles. Sometimes we just keep on doing things, like what I hear often in organizations. We've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years. Well, in the same way, maybe we've been responding to certain situations, personally or professionally, the same way because we learned them that way. But that doesn't mean that that's the way we should be continuing. And in some cases, we want to break certain cycles that are really toxic. So this is my invitation to all of you to join me in this exploration and in this movement where we really look at ourselves and where we put a stop to anything that is no longer serving us. So stay tuned for more information about generational conditioning. But for now, I invite you to think about what comes to mind when I say those words. What might have impacted you and how you see the world when it comes to the beliefs and behaviors that you've inherited from your upbringing?